Vivek Ramaswamy has a message to Democrats after Trump landslide victory. Excuse me, and my was that a landslide. I haven't heard what Vivek had to say yet, but my message would be Democrats, stop pushing these far left progressive policies that no one absolutely wants. No one except for y'all weirdos that wants to push this crazy agenda. America has resoundingly spoken, and we want to make America great again. We want open borders, and we want a better economy. So we're going to talk a little bit about it. We're going to play this clip. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button. Share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. And hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon. That's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my X account, so follow me there as well. Also, I posted a bunch of videos earlier today. Has no audio, I know. But I'm just gonna leave them up anyway, even though there's no audio, because there are some clips in there. But let's get right into this news. All right, now this comes from the Gateway Pundit, from David Grayson. He reports that Vivek Ramaswamy was on This Week on ABC with host John Carl on Sunday and discussed President Trump and anticipating his new administration. So instead of me reading it, I'm just going to go right to the clip here. All right, here we go. Let's hear what he has to say.
But let me ask you about the unity, and I think you've referred to this as a resurgence of national unity. I'm hearing that from some people around the former president, but I'm hearing a very different message from others around the former president. For example, Mike Davis, who had been mentioned by Donald Trump Jr. as a possible candidate for attorney general in a new Trump administration, has been calling for all-out revenge against Trump's opponents. I want to give you just a couple of examples, and believe me, there are many, but a couple of examples of what he has said on X. He says Trump's opponents attempted to bankrupt him for non-fraud, imprison him for non-crimes, and take him off the ballot and take off his head. Now they want unity. F them. Let's unify them in prison. And one more short one. Here's my current mood. I want to drag their dead political bodies through the streets, burn them, and throw them off the wall, legally, politically, and financially, of course. Now, Davis has said he's not going in the new administration, but he was a clerk for Justice Gorsuch. And again, Donald Trump Jr. said that this is the kind of guy that could be attorney.
I'm not mad at it, because everyone knows, even though the Democrats try to pretend that none of this stuff actually happened, everything that happened to Trump is because because it was all political. The lawfare, the attempted assassination, the character assassinations, all of this is because they can't stand Donald Trump because he's an outsider.
General.
Well, look, the fact of the matter is you haven't heard that from Donald Trump, and you could airlift any quote from a number of people on the left who aren't very happy with the election result either, but who aren't going into the Harris-Biden administration in their trailing days either. What you're hearing from Donald Trump is he is going to be a president for all Americans. He is a guy who, in that first term, he had crowds chanting, "Lock her up" for Hillary Clinton. He didn't prosecute her. I think Donald Trump is focused on what makes people's lives better. And actually, my message to Democrats out there, even those who didn't vote for Donald Trump, is to give them a chance to actually make your life better. And I think a lot of people across the country, even who have bought into, I think, some false narratives about Donald Trump, are going to be pleasantly surprised as to finding more money in their paycheck, prices coming down in the country, a secure border. Those are things most Americans actually care about. And I think it's time to turn the page on a lot of these histrionics or Hitler comparisons or airlifting some quote of some person who Donald Trump.
I mean, this is somebody who's been pretty a staunch defender of Trump, pretty close to the team.
And by your acknowledgement, someone who's not coming into the administration.
Okay, so all the talk of retribution, is that gone now? And by the way, I've heard you say that he didn't prosecute Hillary Clinton. I mean, I've talked to Bill Barr about this. He wanted the Justice Department to prosecute, Barack Obama, Joe Biden, and they kind of pulled him back. But your sense is that retribution talk is done?
I'm going to tell you what Donald Trump has said on this time and again. Success will be our retribution. Success will be our vengeance. That's a direct line from Donald Trump. It's a beautiful sentiment. And I do think that success is unifying. Nothing's going to unite this country more than economic growth. Nothing is going to unite this country more than people feeling like their wages are rising at a faster pace than prices, which hasn't been the case for the last few years. And here's a big one that I know a lot of Democrats should support and do support as well, is restoring stability and peace on the global stage. I mean, the reality is the United States of America is at our best when the chief diplomat of the United States is the democratically elected U.S. president. That's not the case right now. It hasn't been for 4 years. That changes on January 20th, bringing us off the brink of major conflicts in other parts of the world. So I think that those are going to unite the country regardless of partisan affiliation. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Absolutely. Vivek always crushes it. And that's that they keep saying that he's going for vengeance. He's going for vengeance. The man said his vengeance will be the fixing the economy, a strong economy, a great America. That's his retribution. That's his vengeance. It's showing them how to really run a country. Well, Vivek and Carl discuss how the Republican Party has changed in the last election. He said, quote, "How is this different from the old Republican Party?" So let's play this clip. Here we go.
Back to that unity theme, but first, I've heard you say that this is a new Republican Party. So in brief, how is this different from the old Republican Party? What's the key differential?
Well, it's a party that's now a multi-ethnic working class coalition. You saw black voters, Hispanic voters, young voters. That was a big one. A much younger composition of the Republican primary base coming together on basic principles that really weren't as beholden to older Republican orthodoxies, but principles like free speech, anti-censorship, meritocracy, staying out of World War III. These are some of the common threads that brings together what is a pretty diverse and broad tent coalition to restore those basic constitutional principles. Here's a big one, and Donald Trump's talked for a long time about the deep state, but this idea of restoring self-governance is big in this new coalition. The idea that the people we elect to run the government, they haven't been the ones actually running the government for a very long time. Donald Trump is going to be the president of the United States in the real sense of that word, capital P president, where he is actually making the decisions with the democratic will of the people behind him, not the unelected bureaucratic class underneath him. And I think that's something that unites a common thread of even former Democrats to independents to libertarians to, of course, traditional Republicans as well. I think that that's a common thread that unites us.
Facts. Man, I have to say, I really like how Ramaswamy is really good at articulating. He's really good at explaining things where anyone can understand what he's trying to say from a political standpoint. The politics, the agenda, how the implementation. He goes in and he's able to explain that and articulate it very, very well. And I appreciate that. Everything he said is on point. A lot of the things that I've been saying, especially pertaining to Trump and revenge, where he just want everyone to be successful. And I'm excited for January 20th to come in, for him to come in and finally take over this country and bring it back in the right direction. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.